Welcome to Roll for Crit. Right now we are going to give you our review of the game called Conspire from Cherry Picked Games. This came from a Kickstarter campaign, and it is a sort of freeform role-playing-esque improvisational kind of a party game, if you will. Essentially, everyone is going to have a role involved in a conspiracy of your own making. It's actually just this book, but there are some extra components that come with it that you can kind of all make yourself by printing stuff out or using chips around the house, but we do have this version that we'll probably talk a little bit about with some actual dry erase sheets for your characters.
And nice little poker chips.
Very nice little poker chips. Special shiny symbols on them. So, as I said, it's an improvisational sort of a game where at the beginning, you as a group together will be coming up with your own story, setting, scenario.
Right.
So ours was...
prehistoric times.
Prehistoric times. I believe we said Flintstones-esque.
Mm-hmm.
And there were dinosaurs involved, and our central conflict that we had to deal with was whether or not dinosaurs deserved equal rights to humans. Mm-hmm. So all of this we made up. And you know, there's a book that has many examples and guides for you to work with, but you can be as open as you want, and it's encouraged that everybody who's part of the group can chime in and come up with ideas, and you work it out together. And once you have established your characters, you also have hidden roles and hidden agendas. And then you're going to be randomizing these sheets, and so no one's going to really know, even though you're coming up with these things together, at the end of it, you're not going to know who exactly is who. The real big thing, though, once you're in the zone, is these chips. Why don't you explain what these do?
All right, so everyone gets, I believe it was three?
3 chips.
3 chips, and during this time where you're arguing about your conflict, you may choose to spend a chip to pretty much, I guess I would say, alter reality with a rule.
Yeah.
Now you can't force someone to go against like their card or drastically change, maybe like we're in the future now or something. But you could do things. For example, it came up. I spent a chip saying all dinosaurs are no taller than 4 feet.
Right. Yeah. He made short dinosaurs. And then didn't we then alter it also so we are only like 3 feet?
No. It was, so we were someone did that we were 4 feet, and I made it so dinosaurs are 3 feet. I mixed it up.
Okay.
We were taller than the dinosaurs.
Yes.
Because someone was arguing about making an argument about sauropods, like the long neck ones. I'm like, you know what? No, they're all short.
Yeah. So I guess like if you're familiar with Whose Line Is It Anyway? Those are sort of the moments where the audience has to like yell something out, and then the performers have to now go along with it.
Honestly, I think that actually sums up the game is mostly that sort of the improv. That's what you're doing here.
Yeah, it's a little hard to exactly explain unless you've seen it what the actual gameplay is like outside of those chips, but really it's a discussion. It's just an ongoing discussion. You're trying to convince the other players to see your side of the argument.
Right. But in addition, you're going to have some smaller things on there, like, for example, you were just trying to make money, and you had a secret goal of trying to sell the person who did not want dinosaurs to get rights and sell them products.
Which was you.
Yes.
And it's at one point something you're allowed to do. I took you off to the side. We had a secret conversation, and I was like, "Hey, I think this is good. You should we could make some money off this." And it worked out, and I got my goal done. And you know, at the end, once everyone has ultimately agreed on. Come to a decision by majority vote, essentially, you kind of tally up, your points based on how many of those goals you completed, and then if you want as a group, you can go on to another scenario in that same setting, or you could come up with a new setting, however much you want to do. It plays from 3 to 12. Mm-hmm. At least that's how many sheets that our copy came with.
And I do think also one person in the group sort of got railroaded, I guess would be the phrase, because it was the person who's trying to get dinosaurs' rights, and as I wrote my sheet, you know, I pictured a person to be a very boisterous, sort of annoying person, so I sort of took the reins, and both you and Ivan, your goals were pretty much just like, well, sort of has the power of the meeting. We're just going to side with him.
Well, we ended up in a position where the characters that we made, the majority of them ended up really wanting the same thing. So because our group was a little smaller, I felt it was kind of not great for that one guy, which can happen. So that's kind of comes with also the part of the learning process.
True. But I do think it's fun, and the idea of the concept, you can do something a lot interesting both on the silly end and the serious end.
Yeah, I mean, I think the majority of these games will, well, it depends on your group.
No, it depends on the group completely.
They will probably, I think, veer towards the comedic most of the time, unless especially with these chips, I mean, where you're just changing reality at different times, which can be a lot of fun. So what do you think as a game, as an experience? It's not really similar to many other games other than RPGs that we've played. Like you said, improv is kind of the best comparison. But
well,
I mean, what do you think?
You made a terrible mistake by letting me hold the tokens.
I really did.
Second, it's weird. I almost don't. It doesn't feel like a game per se as much as like. It almost makes you think like it's an educational tool that we're abusing to make it for a comedic effect. Like, I would love to see this in a debate club or something.
Huh, interesting.
Or like a mock trial and just see how people run with it. I mean, it was fun for me, but I can definitely see for some other people, like, be like, I'm not playing a game, I'm just talking, and I like.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is not
very polarizing.
This is a game for if you enjoy the social aspect of a role-playing game, not if you enjoy the numbers and strategy aspect of it.
Or even just your own character.
Yeah.
Because you're not, odds are, even in this case, I didn't want to play my character. I was hoping someone else would get it.
Well, that's maybe a reason you should make a character you want to play. You got to think of the group for that reason. But I mean, I think that's, I understand why you're saying that.
I think it's probably more just interesting because new and see what other people had. It's secret.
Right, but like, the game certainly is not trying to do that.
Yeah, no, it wasn't like, I was like, man, it was just more of just seeing what other creative people.
Right, but I mean, in terms of the strategy and stuff, this is purely a party game.
I can just understand other people not.
Yeah, no, that's fair. But I like the system is it's very freeform. Like you can kind of use it as much or as little as you feel you need to. Like I said, like there is a whole book, and it's well written and also very funny. The examples are really good and helpful, and there's some art in there that's nice. But you can really kind of go your own path, and if you want to, easily ignore a lot of the things in here or add to it yourself, which is always good in a game like this. But if you do stick to it, I think it's pretty smart and a well-designed game for what it is. I mean, I think the more people you have, the better. Like I feel like 5 or 6 would probably be a sweet spot. More than that, it's a little
No, I mean,
scarier.
I understand what you're saying that. I think I'd say maybe more like 6 to 8 for me.
6 to 8?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Then they actually even have suggestions if this happens, but depending on your group, you don't want like someone, if they're a little quieter, to be,
I mean, obviously it depends on the group too.
Yeah.
Like if you have, then choosing the roles, you want to make sure, maybe even if there is a role that's a more boisterous role, maybe you want to make sure the quiet person gets it so they feel they're forced to talk. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends on your group.
They say like whoever is basically knows the rules or owns the game, they suggest kind of helps move things along, and like if someone's not saying something, kind of point to them. And that's also part of where the chips come in, because if someone has a chip, everyone has to stop and listen to what they're about to say. So that's a way for you to break into the conversation. So there are little smart details like that in there. The other games we played from Cherry Picked have been The Drink, which was a party game, and Catalyst, which was their RPG.
Yes.
And I feel like this is kind of a blend of those two styles. It's the RPG with a party game that you can play with pretty much anybody as long as you have a good grasp on the rules. It's not too hard to teach.
No, I think that's a good analogy for that.
Yeah. So we will put links in the description below where you can check out, where you can find more information on Conspire. Like I said, it is this book, and you don't need any more than that. The rest of it you can just print out. I don't know if all this stuff is available post Kickstarter or not. But we had a good time with it, and if you like these kinds of party games, recommend you check it out.
I'm New Rule. You enjoyed this party game.
See, that's it. I got another one. Like and subscribe to this video.
Yes.
I don't know. All right. Thanks for watching. Till next time, I'm Jonathan Estes.
I'm Mo Keeler, and this has been a Roll for Crit review.